What's up, everybody? Good afternoon or evening. Good evening. Breaking news. Me launching everywhere else. I hope you guys are doing good. Got some stuff to go over. Lord Almighty. What are they gonna say? They're gonna release more files. More files. Do you believe them? I don't know if I believe it. Maybe they'll release something. Redacted. All right, let's get started, man. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Are you ready, man? The files are coming. What happened? Did I fuck it up? What? Oh. I guess I gotta fix that. It just stops right. It's not supposed to stop right there. All right. What's up? Welcome, man. Welcome. Let's start with this first. Exclusive. Lara Trump says the Trump administration will release Epstein evidence and will have more transparency. She says that President Trump hears the base. He hears the base. Hears the base on this issue and knows how important it is. What do you guys think about that? Let's listen to the clip. 1 million views.
What would be your advice? Given this back and forth, we're just coming off of Turning Point here in Tampa. This was the topic of conversation. What would be your advice in order to take the temperature down on this issue from within the administration?
Well, I do think that there needs to be more transparency on this. And I think that will happen. I mean, look, I don't know what truly exists there, but I know that this is something that's important to the president as well. He does want transparency on all these fronts, everything we're talking about, because it's frustrated him as well. He sat for 4 years like the rest of us did, and saw lie after lie, and saw the country just being sent down the wrong path. And it was really frightening and very upsetting to a lot of people to see. And I would actually say over the past 10 years, we've all kind of endured this. Prior to that, it was probably happening, Benny, but we just weren't as aware of it. It wasn't until Donald Trump came down that golden escalator that he just kind of blew the doors off of everything. And people started to wake up and realize, wait a minute, things are not as they have always been presented to us. And I do believe that you will see that. Now, as it relates to the president, I know that this is probably not his number one thing he's focused on. He's focused on a lot of other important things. We've got this big announcement with Russia going on, I think, Russia at the White House. We have, a Middle East. We're trying to get peace over there. We're trying to make sure that Iran's nuclear arsenal is obviously completely decimated. We want to make sure everything is on the right track for this country. Fortunately, you've seen no border crossings in the last month. Zero, by the way. I think that's incredible. And no one's talking about that enough. Zero illegal border crossings in the month of June. Amazing how that's all gone. So I don't know that this was top of mind for him, but he hears all the noise and he hears all of the consternation out there. And I think he's going to want to set things right as well. So I believe that there will probably be more coming on this. And I believe anything that they are able to release that doesn't, damage any witnesses or anyone underage or anything like that, I believe they'll probably try to get out sooner rather than later because they hear it and they understand it. So hopefully we see that happen sooner than later. And I guess that would be my advice. But to everybody out there who's all worked up about it, there's no great plot to keep this information away that I'm aware of. I do just believe that maybe it's been slow rolled for reasons that hopefully we understand down the line. And I think we're probably going to get more transparency on it very.
So I put a poll in the chat, by the way. So they're saying it's coming. Something's coming. I don't know what. I'm not holding my breath for sure. They said something's coming. They hear loud and clear. And we'll have to see about that. Now, a couple of things. Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine, is ready to reveal the truth. So the PDF file client list of the PDF client file list, say insiders. So why are Republicans blocking it? Oh, God, what? What? Ghislaine is willing to speak in front of Congress. Let's do it. Maxwell, 63, is the only person behind bars serving 20 years on child charges, despite the fact that Jeffrey Epstein allegedly controlled a web of underage girls. Additionally, Epstein's victims allege they were passed around as toys to wealthy friends and billionaire business associates who regularly visited his homes in Private Island, Little St. James. Now, a source says, despite the rumors, Ghislaine was never offered any kind of plea deal. She would be more than happy to sit before Congress and tell her story. I want to hear it. Put it all out there. No one from the government has ever asked her to share what she knows because they know what's there and they don't want people to know. How come she wasn't given a sweetheart deal? What the truth is remains to be seen. She was convicted in 2022 over her role in the whole situation with Epstein. Okay. Bloop. Maxwell argues she should have been protected from prosecution as part of a non-prosecution agreement made by Epstein, her former lover and boss, in 2007 when he agreed to the plea deal to 2 minor charges of prostitution in a sweetheart deal. And now this controversy continues to rage over the Department of Justice's statement that there is no Epstein list. There is no Epstein list. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. Is it the same? Is it the same department? The same people, yes, that are pleading with the Supreme Court. Don't take Maxwell's case. Don't even look at it. So we're going to go through some of the pages on this file in a little bit. We're going to go through the articles first. I think this dropped today. This was July 2025. We'll take a look at this. This is what the DOJ had to say. But, yeah, if there's no client list, why should you get locked up? Who are they serving? Who are they pleasing? Who are these people, the billionaires and all these top people? The scandal over the alleged cover-up has prompted a rebellion amongst President Trump's loyal MAGA base. Some even believe Attorney General Pam Bondi should be fired after promising to release the files. On Saturday, we know about the post. Everything went to hell in a handbasket. Hell in a handbasket. And then the next one, this came out today. Pam Bondi hit with another big blow as she prepares major action in Ghislaine Maxwell case. The Justice Department is preparing to reply to the British socialite, filing and claiming she should have never been charged with the Jeffrey Epstein trafficking case. Currently serving a 20-year prison sentence, Maxwell's lawyers argue she shouldn't have been put in trial in the first place because of the plea deal Epstein reached with prosecutors in Florida, 2008. Attorney General Pam Bondi's DOJ is due to respond to the filing on Monday, July 14, which is what we have here. We're going to go through it again. We're going to go through this document here. This just came out. Bondi can't seem to escape the Epstein case despite her attempts to leave it in the rearview mirror. Right, all right, all right. Last weekend, DOJ and FBI leaked an unsigned memo concluding that Epstein did off himself in August 2019 and that he did not hold a converted client list of high-profile co-conspirators. An uproar among Trump's base with calls for him to fire Bondi and Deputy Director Bongino threatening to resign and blah, blah, blah. What a mess. Fire, fire, fire. And this is the video clip that I played just for you guys at the beginning of the stream. If you missed it, you might have to rewind. But basically, yeah, Lara Trump, she's claiming in an interview she did with Benny Johnson that there's additional files that are going to come. I'm not holding my breath. I don't know what to think of it. I'll believe it when I see it. You know, because all the talk, that shit don't mean nothing to me anymore. You know, all this, oh yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to, no. You put it out or what, you know? So we'll see. Ghislaine came out last night and said she was willing to renegotiate her deal with the DOJ. Biden made a deal with her in 2021 to keep the client list a secret. I don't know if that's true. You're gonna have to. You'd have to pardon me. They're gonna have to offer her something. It needs to come out. She said she's willing to sit down and talk. Also, they're saying General Pam Bondi fired her personal ethics advisor. She had an ethics advisor, but rarely had any ethics herself to begin with. So yeah, let's get into this document here. This is the DOJ's response, and so the way we're gonna start, let's start. Let's just go down here. What page is this? Oh, there it is. This is the page. Here we go. Forgot. I guess we'll just do it over here. Don't you tell me. Oh, we're gonna read the whole thing, maybe? I don't know. Maybe do the whole thing. Okay, my bad. Let's go up here then. Okay, let's just start here. Statement. Following a jury trial in the United States District Court of the Southern District of New York, petitioner was convicted on one count of conspiring to transport minors with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity. The district court sentenced petitioner 240 months of imprisonment to be followed by 5 years of supervised release. Petitioner is Ghislaine, by the way. From about 1994 to 2004, petitioner coordinated, facilitated, and contributed to the multi-millionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein's SA of numerous young women and underage girls. The abuse followed a pattern. Petitioner and Epstein would identify vulnerable victims living under difficult circumstances, isolate them from their friends and families, gaining their trust by giving them gifts and pretending to be their friends, normalize the discussion of sexual topics and sexual touching with girls, and then transition to SA, often through the pretext of a girl giving Epstein a massage. Which we've heard that a lot. Like, there was some documentary I watched. I feel like I need a refresher on the whole thing. I probably need I don't know if there's any new ones. The whole crazy story. Petitioner and Epstein paid victims large amounts of cash to provide Epstein with sensual massages or sexual massages. And after the victim had begun giving massages, they would offer her additional money to recruit other girls. Petitioner and Epstein carried on those activities at, among other locations, Epstein's residences in Palm Beach, Florida, New York City. In 2005, the parents of a 14-year-old girl complained to the Palm Beach police after learning that Epstein had paid their daughter for a massage. The following year, a state grand jury indicted Epstein for soliciting prostitution, but because the local police were dissatisfied with the state attorney's handling of the case and believed that the state grand jury's charge did not address the totality of Epstein's conduct, they referred the matter to the FBI in West Palm Beach. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida worked with the FBI to develop a federal case against Epstein. In the course of the investigation, they discovered additional victims. An assistant U.S. attorney drafted a 60-count indictment against Epstein and a lengthy memorandum summarizing the evidence against him. In 2007, however, the Florida USAO entered a written non-prosecution agreement, MPA, with Epstein. The MPA began by describing the state of federal investigations into Epstein's conduct and the potential federal charges that the investigation by the Florida USAO and FBI supported. The agreement noted that Epstein sought to resolve globally his state and federal criminal liability. It then provided on the authority of R. Alexander Acosta, United States of Southern District of Florida. Prosecution in this for the federal offenses shall be deferred in favor of the prosecution by the state of Florida, provided that Epstein abides by the following conditions and requirements of this agreement set forth below. All right, give me a second. All right. And I think that was in a documentary that I watched. So he was required to plead guilty to 2 state offenses, soliciting prostitution, and let's see. Let me just skip to go start at 5 here. For example, the MPA provides the United States Attorney to send notice to Epstein if he should determine, based on reliable evidence, that Epstein has violated the agreement. DOJ policy provided that provided at that time, and similarly provides today, that no district or diversion shall make any agreement, including any agreement not to prosecute, which purports to bind any other districts or division without express written approval of the United States Attorney General of the Criminal Division. The MPA in Epstein's case was signed by Epstein, his counsel, and under the United States Attorney's Acosta's name. I remember that name too, Acosta. In accordance to the MPA, Epstein pleaded guilty to the 2 offenses in federal state court in 2008. But in 2019, he was incarcerated for about a year in a minimum security state facility. But in 2019, the USAO for the Southern District of New York obtained an indictment charging Epstein with trafficking minors, sex trafficking. In 2020, a grand jury in the Southern District of New York returned an indictment charging petitioner with several offenses arising out of her scheme with Epstein. A second superseding and ultimately operative indictment charged petitioner with 6 offenses related to facilitating activities with minors and 2 counts of perjury. Petitioner moved to dismiss the indictment, arguing that the co-conspirators clause of Epstein's MPA barred her prosecution because she was charged as Epstein's co-conspirator. The district court denied the motion, finding that the MPA bound only the Florida USAO. The court further found that most of the charged offenses would have fallen outside of the scope of MPA, even if it had been applied to the New York USAO. Petitioner was tried on the non-perjury counts in 2021, looks like California, and the jury found her guilty on 5 counts. The district court entered judgment of 3 of those counts, dismissed 2 on multiplicity grounds, and sentenced petitioner to 240 months imprisonment. The Court of Appeals affirmed it rejected, among other claims, petitioner's contention that Epstein's MPA barred her prosecution. The court cited circuit precedent for the proposition that a plea agreement binds only the office of the United States Attorney for the district in which the plea is entered, unless it affirmatively appears that the agreement contemplates a broader restriction. Okay, so we keep going. Argument. Petitioner renews her contention. Epstein's non-prosecution agreement with the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida barred petitioner's prosecution by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. That contention is incorrect, says the prosecution, I guess. And petitioner does not show that it would succeed in any court of appeals. This case would also be unsuitable vehicle for addressing the matter raised in the petition as writ of Sotari. Let's see what that is. Atari. So Ghislaine's legal team filed a request asking the U.S. Supreme Court basically to review her case. And that's called petition writ of certiorari. When the DOJ says something like raise a petition, they're talking about a specific issue with arguments. Maxwell's lawyers asked the Supreme Court. Okay. So they're not buying it. They're saying no. It should follow the same course here. The Court of Appeals correctly held that Epstein's NPA did not bar petitioner's prosecution. So she's trying to say, I guess from what I can get, because he got this sweetheart deal and she was named a co-conspirator. Well, how the hell y'all still got me locked up in here, charged? Y'all let me walk. How am I a co-conspirator? But I guess it doesn't work like that. I don't know how it works. United States also agrees that it will not institute criminal charges against any potential co-conspirators of Epstein, including but not limited to 4 of Epstein's assistants. It will not institute criminal charges against any potential. So she should have got the same deal like them, no? I guess maybe because she's the head honcho. I don't know. But, what's that? But non-prosecution agreements like plea bargains are contractual in nature and therefore interpreted in accordance with general principles of contract law. And like other contracts, the NPA must be read as a whole and in proper context. While the United States could conceivably refer to the entire federal government as petitioner urges, the entirety of the context of the NPA here make it clear that the term is used as often as is one alternative way to refer to the USAO executing the agreement. Okay. They're not trying to have it. Maxwell, she's trying to say the non-prosecution agreement said the United States wouldn't prosecute. That should include everyone in the federal government, even the other offices. But the DOJ is saying no in legal context of the United States in that argument just meant specific U.S. attorney's office, not the entire DOJ federal government. I don't know, man. They should offer us something. I want the list to come out. The list needs to come out. Bring it out. The United States, in a statute to mean the prosecutorial, I can't fucking read, division of government, written or within the criminal justice system throughout the country. The term the government is widely used as understood to refer to the prosecution or the United States attorney. Okay. Among other things, the NPA invoked the authority of R. Alexander Acosta, United States Attorney for the Southern District of Florida, and listed only officials of the USAO in the signature block. Okay. Showing that the agreement was with the USAO, not the entire DOJ. Okay, that's what they were saying here. So she's trying to say that that plea deal, she believes, or she's trying to argue that that plea deal they did years ago with Florida prosecutors should have blocked her later prosecution in New York. And I guess the DOJ, they're trying to say, well, it's not nationwide, it was local. You don't get like a blanket immunity. While petitioner emphasizes the paragraph stating that Epstein sought to resolve globally his state and federal criminal liability, even as to his federal liability specifically, the agreement by its terms protected him from federal prosecution only in this district. Okay. Where the MPA is not silent, the agreement's scope is expressively limited to the Southern District of Florida. The MPA's co-conspirators clause, which also agrees to forego certain prosecution of co-conspirators, cannot reasonably be constructed as reflecting some global scope broader than the Florida-based state and federal charges that Epstein resolved for himself. It would be extremely strange if the MPA left Epstein himself open to federal prosecution in another district, as eventually occurred, while protecting his co-conspirators from prosecution anywhere. Contrary to petitioner's claim, such an implausible reading cannot be inferred simply because of the co-conspirators clause is one of the places where the United States is used instead of the United States Attorney or the United States Attorney's Office, as noted above. All right. Now, there's another part. Moreover, in the meaning of the co-conspirators clause were not clear in context, extrinsic evidence would resolve the ambiguity against petitioner. See United States versus Gebby. At the time the MPA was negotiated, DOJ policy barred USAOs from entering into MPAs that bound other districts unless they obtained the approval of those districts or criminal division. That policy reflects a long-standing general rule that a U.S. attorney's area of responsibility is limited to his district. While petitioners suggest that USAOs are instructed to be explicit on that point, they are also instructed to consult with other DOJ components as they intend to altogether foreclose any prosecution. Okay, I feel like we get that. I think there was a part that was supposed to be juror statements. Okay. All right, so basically they're just arguing back and forth. The DOJ is trying to not even have this, hoping that the court just throws it out. Just skimming to see if there's anything else. Okay. Conclusion. All right, I guess that's it. Yeah. Conclusion: the petitioner for writ of certiorari should be denied respectfully. The attorneys, acting assistant attorney, solicitor general, attorney, July 2025. Okay. Now, I wanted to play something too. I guess we'll just play the audio. Oh, you know they're salivating. They're excited about this. Oh, let's see, hold on.
Live, the Don Lemon Show. Thank you so much for joining this evening. We have got some big breaking news as it relates to Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. What are they hiding?
Oh, yeah.
What are they hiding? The Democrats are now using it to message. Is it working? We'll talk about that.
Okay. We'll just skip over here. Like a guest come on to just listen for a few seconds. I don't know who this is.
Rick is a veteran political strategist, a new F-bomb, but what the hell is going on here?
Don, we are seeing right now, for the first time in
They're loving it.
Years,
they're loving it.
An issue where Donald Trump has lost his base, where Donald Trump does not understand why they're angry, why they feel betrayed, because he hacked something that was central to their identity. They believed there was a giant global conspiracy of Democratic pedophiles in a pizza restaurant in New York or in Washington, D.C. They thought Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and George Soros were all a part of this thing. And now Trump is saying, nope, you were wrong. And they are angry and heartbroken. He got ratioed for the first time ever in history.
It's kind of funny to hear me these guys talk about ratio. Just because I know I don't know who this Rick Wilson guy is, but Don Lemon. I was surprised to see the ratio too. I mean, you could look at it multiple ways. You could, well, I don't know. I guess there's many ways to look at it. You could look at it as some people are just, even if they voted for him, they still have some type of moral compass. But there's some people too, I guess, that just whatever they're gonna ride, whatever, regardless, right? But some people that are kind of standing strong, and like you guys have said, there was gonna be transparency that's coming out. This was part of half of what you ran on, is the transparency stuff.
On his own social media platform this weekend, with tens of thousands of people going, "Oh, this ain't it, boss." They are angry. MAGA is divided and angry. I've never seen this before. Not just at this level. I've never seen MAGA like this ever.
Hey, Dana. I had the ratio period the other day. I showed it. I'll try to find it.
I'm going to play something, and I want you to respond to it. I wasn't going to play this early. I want to play Ben Shapiro because my producer calls this, what is it, Zamboni logic or something? Is that what you said it is, Peter?
Playing intellectual Zamboni.
Playing intellectual Zamboni. Okay.
Okay.
So this is Ben Shapiro talking to, I believe is it Megyn Kelly, maybe? Here it is.
Basically, there's two theories of this particular case. One, Pam Bondi overpromised and underdelivered, which seems to me the most plausible. Or two, there's an active cover-up that the Trump administration is engaging in of a child sex trafficking ring. And I think that if people want to make that accusation, they should just come out and say it. And if that's the case, if they want to make that accusation that President Trump and everybody who was elected to uncover this is actually now, they flipped 180, and now they're engaging in a full-scale cover-up of a child rape ring, then people should just have the balls to say it out loud and articulate it, as opposed to sort of softly peddling the possibility that just say it, because it seems to me when you articulate these two possibilities out loud, one of them is significantly more plausible than the other. Now, again, that does not relieve the responsibility on the administration to answer basic questions of fact publicly, and that's where I think the great screw-up is.
What is he saying there? What
the problem for Ben here is that the Venn diagram can overlap. They can be covering up.
So yeah, I know they were happy, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they actually release some other stuff, some actual files. I don't know. We'll see. This was the ratio the other day. This was over the weekend, where the whole thing got just lit on fire with the ratio stuff that happened. I think it would be so interesting to hear Ghislaine, like what she knows, her side of the story, like the list and everything. If she's willing to come forward, and I don't think they want her to come forward. They don't want her to talk. She needs to be on 24/7 watch. They need to put like a public camera there, an untainted, untouched, untampered camera that we could all check it and watch the live stream. I mean, they could mess with that too, though, really, if they wanted to. So put a fake feed of just running it over and over and over of nothing there, and she's sleeping right now, and then boom, What a mess. What a mess. It's been kind of quiet the last couple of days, right? I feel like it's been a little quiet. Besides the Epstein stuff, of course. It's been kind of quiet. I don't mind the quiet though, man, because it was like such a crazy month. June was really crazy, and like the beginning of this month, and so a couple of quiet days for me. I just don't know what to do. It's just weird. Like I don't know how to stay still sometimes. I feel like I always got to do something, And it's like pouring and raining here, which is kind of nice. It's pouring, thundering, raining. Let me see what they're tagging me. Oh shit! Is this true? Breaking: Arizona taco shop owner has been arrested by the Trump admin for employing and harboring illegal aliens.
Taco Loco, a taco shop near
Oh.
67th Avenue and Indian School, to have their doors locked on the outside and an empty dining room on the inside. The West Valley Taco Joint also operates a bus in Goodyear and a food truck in Southwest Phoenix. Here at 55th Avenue and Baseline is where El Taco Loco's food truck typically stands. People in this area tell us this has really been a food truck staple of the South Phoenix area. People believe it may have been seized yesterday as part of a federal investigation, and because of that, it is not here today. Tuesday afternoon, people in the South Phoenix area started posting videos on TikTok showing federal agents with HSI and ICE taking workers out of the food truck in handcuffs. And just a mile down the road, the home belonging to the taco shop's owner, Vladimir Angulo, also flooded with federal agents. It's one of 5 locations where HSI and ICE were investigating allegations of human smuggling and harboring of illegal immigrants. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Arizona tells 12 News Angulo is in federal custody, awaiting.
Oh, so apparently too that the whole thing with Dan Bongino, apparently I don't know. I was reading a little bit about it today on Twitter. It was like false information, I think. Director Dan Bongino did show up at work today. President Trump is fuming at it, and FBI Director Kash Patel, according to CNN.
Yeah, oh, I think so. I did. I spoke to him today. Dan Bongino, very good guy. I've known him a long time. I've done his show many, many times, and he sounded terrific, actually. No, I think he's in good shape.
Scientology? Oh, no, not that. So apparently, I don't know. It's not a true story that he was. Oh, I forgot. We got to look at Gavin.
What about for your values? I mean,
Gavin can't answer if he thinks 8-year-olds should get sex.
and is 8 years old too
That's
young?
not what I
Yeah, I mean, look, I now that I have a 9-year-old,
it's fine.
became
It's
9. Come on, man, I get it. So those are legit. You know, it's interesting. Just the issue of age. I haven't. It's interesting. As someone that's been so focused on equality, broadly LGBT rights, particularly gay marriage. Mm-hmm. The trans issue for me is also novel. It's over the last few years. I'm trying to understand as much as anyone else. Whole pronoun thing, trying to understand all of that. Well, that was like the hell. I mean, all that stuff.
I don't know. Back in the day, we just went to school. We didn't give a shit about like pronouns or whatever. But yeah, what I really wanted to show was this. Gavin tweeted out. I don't know if this is his first tweet about all this recent stuff, but this is the first one I've seen. He said Elon Musk tweets and the Epstein files magically disappears. Ooh, what's going on?
Epstein stuff. There was a big push in his campaign about releasing the Epstein files. When are we going to see the list? And I mean, he rode that, in a campaign, and then
the whole thing has always been to me a sideshow. But I thought it got real interesting when Elon put out that tweet, and then all of a sudden, a few weeks later, what file? Epstein and Trump knew each other. That's not even. There's no fake videos. Those aren't AI videos of those guys hanging out, it would make a lot. I don't know. I'm going to leave it to more objective minds. I have no objectivity. I'm not going down this rabbit hole except to say when Elon put that out, I thought it was a big tell. Something's up.
a lot of weird stuff's going on. I mean, it sucks because you want to take people for their word, and time again, we're seeing that word broken, and it's made me rethink how I choose my leaders.
That's the problem right there. Is you need a leader. I'm just kidding. I know what it means, but oh man, what a whole fiasco! I hope that we get some answers. I hope that I feel like they're gonna have to do something. I guess I didn't think they were going to do anything, but with Lara Trump now saying that, "Oh, we hear you, something's coming," but at the same time, I'm not really going to hold my breath. I think they're going to have to release something, but I don't think anything's going to satisfy unless it's the list. I don't think anybody's gonna be satisfied unless some type of something drops, name wise, like some type of list or whatever. Okay, so Benny Johnson posted an hour ago. Let me read you this tweet with regards to the Epstein files. And he said, what did he say here? Just got off the phone with top federal law enforcement contact. The change in approach to Epstein has been dramatic. Expect more disclosures. Some very powerful people inside admin are now pushing for special counsel.
I got here late, Mel. Can you give me an update?
Thank you for the 5. I'll tell you in a second. You're gonna have to rewind, but I'll give you a little clip note. A special counsel and a full briefing on Epstein's findings. Important to note, this drastic change after Charlie Clerk, and a number of other powerful MAGA voices pushed back on the handling of Epstein case this weekend at the at the Turning Point conference. They were met with massive roars and applause from 7,000 that gathered. That cannot be ignored. Ensured our voices are being heard. Throw your hands up. Basically, you get Lara Trump. Check out Lara Trump at the beginning of the stream. She says that there's more files coming out. And also the DOJ, Department of Justice, responded to Ghislaine's trying to get the case seen by the Supreme Court. She feels her case should be like thrown out. She should have got immunity, or her case, she shouldn't have got charged after Epstein got immunity. Shouldn't have been charged after. All right, pimps. I think that's it. Let me just glance a little bit. Glance. Department of Education. Supreme Court sides with Trump. Gives green light to continue massive purge of the Department of Education. Nearly 1,400 employees have been laid off, with more drastic cuts on the way. Massive loss for left-wing activists. Huge one for the children. All right. Anything else? Laura Loomer saying she's going to drop something big, but I don't know. She said in the next 4 to 8 hours. Something huge is coming. I don't know what, but I guess it's coming. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Jeff. Yeah. Loomer. We'll have to see what she drops. All right. Yeah, I guess that's it for now. Brian Krasentine said Trump is the deep state. Dun, 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 dun. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm out of here. Thank you so much. I'll catch you later. Just wanted to update you guys on the Epstein stuff. Just hang out for a little bit, but a little bit slower. I think, kind of. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Peace. Bye. Bloop, 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 bloop. Subscribe. Bye. Hey, Lise.